Okay, so this is you in the future. Look how glamorous and well put together. This is a well seasoned into your spiritual practice, spirituality. You're abundant with the people, you're abundant with God first, and moving forward. Okay? Nowadays, you laid this is from start to finish. You laid down the foundation for everybody. A high priestess is a teacher, a guru. You set it's a divine plan. So you set the stage. Everybody who played a part, nobody's part is more significant than the other one, whether big or small. And then you have you answered by you answering to your deeper calling. This goes back to what I said already. It's like you're looking at your community. Let's start with your community. Before you can go worldwide, you should fixate on your community first. To give it is like a practice, a test run to see how you manage leadership position. Okay? And then for you are your ancestors. You always have your ancestors with you. They give you guidance, but more importantly, the Most High, He sends angels. He sends all kinds of resources your way. You're never alone. You see how that person's got their hands in prayer, and people think it's corny to say that you're a prayer warrior, but that doesn't make any sense. How spiritually guided are you? Or what kind of friendship do you have with God where you're not talking to Him in the way that He told you to? That's Star Mother. This is a way of reparenting. Shh, be quiet. This is how you reparent yourself, and this is how you keep yourself grounded. You see how her hands are across? Like she's offering salat, right? How can you mother yourself? Mothering yourself is reparenting that inner child. Is that you're really just nurturing your spirit for all the as to what it needs moving forward. Of course, you stand in prayer, but it's not all prayer. There's acts of kindness, there's deeds, as being a teacher. You have to be a huge researcher to even be a teacher, and then you're breaking the chains. All this led to you breaking many generational curses in your family, and not just for your family, because like I said, it starts with your community, your inner circle first, your community, and then the world. You rewrote the future. You repainted that canvas, and then you have council of light, divine orchestration. Okay, and the illustrations tell a story. They look like prophets of the past, right? You always can cross-reference who came before you and how they laid down the bricks and laid down the foundation of God's message and delivering God's oneness. And each of them had their own creative way of doing it. Everybody offers something different, but the message still implies. And the great gathering is you're at the point, you've reached a point where you attract like-spirited people. You built a whole new community by traveling the world, or just traveling from state to state. However way you do it, these are people from everywhere, from many different walks of life, and they like-spirited just like you, because they see that you're genuine, you're authentic, you mean business, you're no nonsense, you carry yourself well, you treat people well, and that attracts other like-spirited people to not be spiritually locked in the closet like you may have been once upon a time. So the story of the divine feminine. Okay, going backwards, touching the earth, planting something new. I'm still in that for a minute. Planting something new. That's like offering the people a different aspect or a different way of looking at things. Kind of like the hangman, as you will. How the hangman teaches you to look at things from a different perspective at times. Okay. It's basically teaching you, how things will unfold naturally as long as you're experiencing joy. All your abundance comes through doing what your soul is calling you to do. Not only just what your soul is calling you to do, is about it's about what you're passionate about. Like what moves you, what doesn't feel like, all right, I got to do this for survival, but I'm really not happy doing it. We off that moving forward. So when you stay consistent in it, you have a lot of joy, and within that action, or whatever that thing is for you, that's how your abundance is going to be created, by being an innovator. Innovator creates new things. You can take old things and disassemble it and reassemble it into something that's more befitting for you. You know what I mean?
Mom.
It's like bring a greater conscience to the seeds that you've been planting, in your inner garden, period. It's about the crops, the harvest crop of your dreams. If that makes any sense.
I'm done.
Okay, sit down. Sit down while I talk. Also, calming the waters. Self, peace, regulation. It goes back to making sure your attitude match what you're trying to accomplish. So you have to keep a very positive attitude to the best of your ability. I'm not saying you're never going to be angry, you're never going to be irritated, but you have to learn how to master your emotions from one moment to the next. Especially when you're in that feminine energy. It's easy to pick up other people's energies and mistake it for your own. Idyllic times. It's creating that garden. It's like heaven on earth. But what it really talks about, you see that owl? Those are pearls of wisdom planted in you as you do your due diligence, as you constantly weed out what is toxic for you, like what's not making your harvest crop. Like the Seven of Pentacles is like reaping what you sow. You want to make sure none of it is poisonous or just bad news. Are going to turn out to be like weeds, like old weeds, instead of something like fruitful, abundant, like super, like rich in green. I got to show you these crystals, by the way, that kind of, I kind of shuffled them and just picked them, and they all are green. They all spoke to me in their own way, and they're yellow. Bright heart light, open connections. When you operate from an open heart, you tend to learn how to connect with people in a more empathetic and compassionate way. So you're able to listen well, to receive it well, to be able to support, and you're very grounded. See how it's all rich and green, if you can see it on camera? It's very pretty. Stop.
Whoa!
It's like you're being guided by the Most High to explore a new direction. Okay?
No.
And they're coming in many different forms. I feel like a new business, for anybody, whether it's health, fitness, wellness. I feel like some of this abundance is coming through your children. I get that download with computer gaming, charitable events, like just well-rounded, like going from generation to generation. Like your children are a part of the innovations, the new creations, the way to speak to the people. Like, and it honestly makes sense when all children like to do nowadays is play on their computers. So that makes sense that some of that abundance is trickling down through some of your children, if not all of them, or if you just have one child, like it's coming through him too in his endeavor. So if you get frustrated with your kids and you kind of see him like, well, why don't you just pick a book up and read? You're always on that computer. It's something to that. Let him go. It's a blessing in disguise. It's the best thing you can do for him, because that's what's inspiring that kid to learn their lessons and propel them forward. It's something to that. Clarity, releasing illusions. See how she has an eagle on her head and that yellow? That's abundant. Planning. You have to carefully, it's like Knight of Pentacles, slow and steady wins the race. And forget about the illusion that, oh, this is for financial security, or this is going to keep my status high in society if I stay in this marriage, or, I don't want to be a divorced woman with children, so I remarried, or I stay in a marriage with this person I'm not even like spiritually connected with, or even emotionally connected with, or mentally connected with, because it's going to make me look better in the public's eye. Releasing those illusions, you're getting that clarity. I'm meant to walk this path by myself. I walk it alone. It's me and God. Your hidden knowledge, the silent understanding, your Akashic records. This talks about this not being foreign to you. You're not a stranger to fame and fortune. It's really about the fortune more than it is about the fame. It's just that a lot of times the fame comes with the fortune, or first comes the fame, then the fortune, because people get to know you and you become super popular. And you get to share your knowledge worldwide. Like, you're going to be high in demand
Hi.
from people
Hi.
all over. If you think about
Hi.
Marie Laveau, for example, how she was very religious. She was a devout Catholic, but she also had spiritual abilities. And it was a mixed crowd with how the people received her. Like, they put her all in the tabloids like she was some kind of witch or something, but in actuality, she was religious and spiritual. But she had a higher calling. She had like a double mission with what she was supposed to do here. And even before